If you start sending people to your website, for example, right, but it's not built in a way that it's being able to convert, you're going to lose leads that way. You're going to lose, and they're going to go to the next competitor. Brand messaging. If I go on your website and I don't know what to do, I'm gone. Referrals run out.
Right.
Right. So you want to build a system that's constantly generating more leads.
All today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You were made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, this episode is brought to you by Executive Help Now and powered by live stream editors. At Executive Help Now, we're all about simplifying your business so you can focus on what really matters. From streamlining operations and managing your back office to producing podcast shows and keeping everything organized, our team is here to help you thrive. So if you're ready to make life just a little bit easier, hit us up at www.executivehelpnow.org. Y'all, join with me in welcoming our amazing guest. His name is Elias Curtis, and he is the founder of Transform Design, which is a service-based business that helps other businesses turn their online presence into consistent lead generation systems. With over 15 years in branding, web development, and digital marketing, he focuses on building high-converting websites and scalable growth strategies. Y'all, put your hands together for Elias Curtis.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah. Hey, Renee. Well, thank you for having me on. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are thrilled to have you because as a business owner, I'm sure every founder of a business, creator of a business, even executives and corporations want to know, how can we get this website to convert to new clients?
Yes.
That is the $1 million question. And for you to be able to talk to us, share some golden nuggets of wisdom to help us on this journey, I am eternally grateful personally, my own self. So I might be a little selfish in my questions today.
Not a problem. Glad to help where I can.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So let's get into it. So have you always been in marketing? I'm sure you didn't come out of the womb being a marketer, but what's your story? How did you get started and where did your interest come from in marketing?
Sure. So it goes back to childhood, right? So, when I was a kid, I just enjoyed art and computers, right? So, I was kind of like a little bit of a nerd back then, just into games and different things here and there. And then I was into art, drawing as well. So I was like, well, let me combine the two. And so I got into graphic design. So I actually went to school for that in college. Ended up getting a bachelor's degree in graphic design.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, it's always been like a passion for me to go out and do that kind of stuff. And then being in the corporate world and realizing, I think I want to start my own business, right? And so my wife and I decided to join our own business back in 2009. And that's where Transform Design was birthed, right? And then, in the name, we're just thinking, we want to be able to transform businesses, right? So we see the designs, we see what they're doing, and it's like, can we do more for them? So if you look at our logo, right, there's a caterpillar. And so as you know, caterpillars transform into butterflies.
Right.
And
Let's
so
take a
that's
look
kind
at
of,
that.
sure, go right ahead.
I
And so,
think we have your website here.
yeah. So that's always been the foundation on which we built our business. And, all glory to God, of course, for making it possible, and getting us through for 17 years. That's how long we actually been in business.
Wow.
So we started off as a design agency. That's where it started off, and doing logo designs, brand design. We weren't even touching websites at that time, and we weren't even doing that much of marketing. So that didn't come till later on. But we realized there's so much more of a need, and so as we continue to grow as a company and scale, we're like, we can offer more services. So we ended up starting doing printing, and then we got into doing websites, and 90% of our client base uses WordPress sites. And so we, work on those. And then we also do other sites too. And then marketing came into play when we realized, social media is here. So we've got to be able to work that, drive traffic of those and work those into the equation. And then we came up with what's called brand systems. So it's like, well, we can take the client from the logo design all the way through to marketing where they're actually getting results. And that's where the lead conversions and sales conversions come into play. So if they're seeing success and they're getting results, then we'll continue to work together and grow and scale together, not just our business, but also the businesses around us that we work with. So,
right. Wow.
Yeah.
There's been quite an evolution in terms of how marketing is done in business. There was a time when people had to take out ads in a magazine or in a newspaper. Or the phone book. Remember those?
I remember.
I mean, marketing has evolved in such an incredible way. And once digital came on the scene, it was a game changer. Like nothing would ever be the same again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you would agree and probably have some experience of understanding, how important it is to stay ahead of the trends and stay cutting edge and innovative to continue evolving and changing with the times. So you stay relevant and competitive, right?
Yeah. So it's been quite the journey, right? Because I mean, just like you were mentioning, the whole technology and how it changes. We experience that all the time. So if we're dealing with a certain platform or a certain channel or a tool or even the technology and software, right? So we have to stay on top of everything and stay current, especially with AI integration, right? So now we have all of our customer base that are like, we're not too sure yet if we want to go ahead and start integrating all of our business with AI just yet. But I can see how it's going to be very convenient and help with a lot of the automation and a lot of the conversion as well, especially when you don't miss a lead or you don't miss a sale. So that's going to be really important as, for years to come.
Right.
So
absolutely. 100%. And so right now, is that process more manual of lead generation or conversions, or what is the systems that you use why should, a website be automated, or what is the system like now and how is automation going to make it better?
Sure, absolutely. So of course you want to have the foundation. So we're building, it's like a building block, right? So you're taking, one block and building on top of that. And so the brand design has to be solid. Okay. So I wouldn't recommend anybody to jump straight into marketing without having a solid brand. And the same is true the other way. I wouldn't, tell somebody to go ahead and just start marketing without the brand, but also vice versa, where it's like, well, you're marketing, but yet your brand's not solid either. Okay. Because, if you start sending people to your website, for example, right, but it's not built in a way that it's being able to convert, you're going to lose leads that way, and they're going to go to the next competitor. And so it's really having, the brand down and then doing the marketing and combining the two. And so there's a big debate within the whole marketing industry about, okay, can you just have a brand or do you just do the marketing? It's both. It's both and it's not either or. And so merging those together and building a system that works really well over time, right? We can get data to show and prove that. I have a few case studies that I can share, if that's something that you want to hear about.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. We love case studies. It's like the proof is in the pudding. That's what my grandma used to say.
Yeah. I mean, data doesn't lie, right? So I mean, if you're seeing the results and you're seeing the growth and customers or clients are profiting, right? There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's building the brand, but it's also making sure that the marketing is working for them. And there's different ways we can market. There's social media marketing, Google advertising, there's social media. I mean, you can go on and on and on. But it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. From my experience with working over hundreds of clients, it's like you are basically tailoring to their business what their need is and what their goal is, right? An example of that is, if we're talking social media, I wouldn't recommend, somebody who's into doing SaaS development to spend all their time on Pinterest, right? Because Pinterest is basically female based, and they're looking at pictures and videos and photos of all kinds of things that are female
things,
right? But it would, so you see, so the channels, it's good to have a presence on them, visibility, but if you're spending all your time in the wrong pond and fishing, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. So it's really customized a lot of times. And to your point, a lot of the setup is manual, but the automation it comes after everything has been set up properly, right? So you have your workflow, you have your email, you have a website, everything is in place and running, but yet, you have to be able to drive traffic that converts.
Right.
That is so important.
Right.
So I have a few case studies, and so they're different. Okay. And so one case study is a content creator. Another one is a business, or the two are businesses, but they're different business models. So we'll start with the two businesses, and I'll move into the content creator. So Pause and All is a business that we worked with 8 years ago. Okay, we've been working together for quite a while, and Laura's her name, and she. Can you hear me? Okay. Did I lose you?
No,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you still there? Okay. I'm not sure if you're going to cut this in some of the parts. All right. So Laura is from Pause and All. So she basically, we did everything for her. We did a logo design, brand design, wraps, vehicle wraps, website, everything. Okay. And she literally scaled her business at probably like fourfold. All right.
Wow.
Now she's, I mean, you can go on YouTube and check out her videos. She has a podcast, she's doing it. And so she has a franchise. So she franchised her business doing pet mobile grooming.
Wow.
So she has vans, and so people buy her business brand or the brand in a franchise. And so she's scaling in Florida right now, and she hopefully wants to go nationwide. And so that's one case study, right?
Wow.
And then another one is Chinatown restaurant in Winchester. Okay, we did all their brand as well. I haven't tried their Chinese food, but it has to be good in order to have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, so they're on it, and so they've dominated that local area, right, in Winchester. And so that's another case study. And then another one that is current and it's in the making right now is I'm working with a content creator who has millions of followers. Now you can check him out. He's called the Vault Cracker. All right. And so he's on Vault Cracker. Yeah. So
Vault Cracker.
Vault, like a safe.
Vault.
Yeah. Like
the Vault Cracker.
Yeah. In a bank or whatever. But he opens safes up legally. Okay. He gets permission from his customers to videotape him. And so that's what he does. He has a camera on his head, and he goes around and he opens up safes by breaking them open. And people love that. They just love to look, and it's the mystery reveal thing, Renee. Like they go in there, and they're like, "What is in the safe?"
Right.
And he's got millions of followers, so he's done well, just posting videos and just continue to do that. But he blew up over 2 years, but yet the issue is monetization layers. So it's connecting all the channels. Right. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they all have to be connected properly and monetized properly in order to benefit from, to make more revenue.
Right.
And so it's redoing the brand and helping with all of that is where we come in and help with the entire system. And so I'll look at a business, I'll say, okay, what's your current setup? I'll start with the logo and work all the way through to the marketing. Mm-hmm. And so if they have a solid setup, then we say, okay, you have a good setup. Then now we can improve on this, and what you're lacking, we can fill in the gaps. Okay, and that's how we're able to build from there. So,
wow. So it's like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
For a business who is trying to increase their customer base or number of clients using their website as their primary source for lead generation.
Correct. The website is the hub. It's where, because the thing about it with the website, the search engines, they rank it based on visibility, traffic, and also, longevity. Okay. So domains are important too. So I'll tell somebody, if I'm doing like some kind of consultant, I'm like, the name is important. The domain, right? Because if you build on a domain, then over time it's building what is called domain authority, right? So it can go, and they have it on a scale of 100. And so you can go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, 50, right? The higher you get, the more exposure and traffic you're going to get online. Right. And so we track that. So everybody starts from zero, but we're also competing, right, in a market that is fighting for those ranking positions.
Yeah.
And so we keep our eye on that, and we look at the data, and we're saying, okay, where can we pivot to improve in this area if that's necessary?
Yeah. So how can we figure out where we rank on that list?
They have tools. I have tools that I use to see where a current, like a snapshot, where what a business is doing. So I go in there, I do audits. I do free audits. I'll go in and I'll look at everything, and then I'll send a customer or client an email saying, hey, this is where you're at now. This is where we can improve. And then we just work from there.
Got you. Yep. Got you. All right. Well, I may be in touch for one of them free audits. I want inquiring minds.
There you go. I got you. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, that's what we do.
I love that. So then why go beyond basic websites to scalable systems?
Now that's important, because the thing is, as far as it's a cost thing too, it's like, traditionally, this is how it worked, right? Somebody comes to us, they're like, well, I need a logo. We do a logo, and then they're off to some other business. Oh, I need a website. So we'll do a website, and they're off to another business to do it, right? They're working with probably 4 or 5 different companies at the end of the day, and they're probably spending a lot more money doing that. So what we did is we minimized all that. We said, okay, we can do all of those things that the companies can do, and you'll pay less, and most likely, right, they'll get higher quality, because the brand needs to be consistent across everything. So if we've done the brand, then it needs to go across website, social media, email campaigns, so there's no disconnect. Because a lot of times if we're working with another company, it's like, where's the files? You got to send them the files, and then they're working with that. Things can get really sloppy. And so we try to minimize all the issues to prevent them from happening, keeping costs down, meeting their expectations. That's a big one, right? Because if the expectations are not met, we're going to have a problem, right? And we don't want that. We don't want bad reviews online. So our reputation is important. And so the system part comes in, it's ongoing. So once it's built, it's not necessarily done as much as you just have to keep a watch on it and improve on it over time. And it could be very costly if they build a brand on the wrong foot. I've seen it many times, since I've been doing this. I've seen businesses fail, and I've seen them succeed. And one of the things that it's a terrible thing to see is when you have a company who spends thousands of dollars on a brand that they probably had for 5 to 10 years, but yet it didn't really work well, right? And so they end up having to rebrand all over again because of the mistakes they've made in the past. And then end up having to spend more money to do that. And so that's a really difficult thing. So in the very beginning, it has to be solid. It has to be like, we're going to build this, we're going to grow on this from years to come. So 10, 20 years, we look back and like, okay, we did what we were supposed to do. No regret.
Right. So how do we know if we're building on the wrong foot?
There's signs. I mean, you could tell. Like, there's things that are going on that things are not converting. That's a big sign, right? I mean, you have a website out there, and it's like you're not getting anything from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody contacting you, not
Right.
even a phone call, right? So that's a big red flag. And so
Mm-hmm.
even then, I mean, you can track it, give it a month or two, and even
Mm-hmm.
in a month or two, it's like, okay, I didn't get any calls, so it's like, all right, what else do we need to do to pivot to make that happen? Because especially if it's search engine, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
success is not overnight.
Right.
We do know it takes time, but we would like to measure within like 3 to 6 months of what we can do, and that'll give us enough data to know what's working, what's not working. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times they'll stop. They'll stop in the system. They'll go logo, website, stop. They won't even mark it. And then they'll get it. They'll open up social media channels. They'll stop. There's nothing going on in the postings. And so
Mm-hmm.
they'll keep stopping along the way in the system, but they have to keep going and not stop. They cannot stop. The minute
Right.
they stop is where they start that whole thing changes, and the results show. So that's how we know. You can tell.
Got you. So if you're busy, you're a business owner,
Mhm.
you're trying to become more visible. So you're posting all the posts. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're
Right.
doing all the things. And there's just a few people liking or clicking and sharing or whatever, just maybe 10 people. How do you, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. So how do you know what to do different?
Engagement's important, right? So you do have to engage with your audience or your followers or whoever's loyal to you, and then just continue to work towards that, right? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, right? I mean, it's especially in the area of social media. There's so many things like that that you can monetize, and there's a lot of benefits. And there's a reason why those platforms, they reward activity and exposure and also, a large following, because they know that people are coming to watch them, right? And so it's always giving back to your audience somehow. That's why they have subscriptions and all these other things. So that's a really cool model. I mean, we have a subscription model in our business too, when it comes to like the SEO, the hosting, and the marketing and all that, which helps.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. That's good to know that you guys have that expertise and can help a founder, or, executive in charge of marketing understand what's working, maybe why it's working, or what's not working and why it's not working and what to do differently.
Yeah. So whether it's a startup or established business, we can help in those areas. Yeah.
So then what makes a website high converting today? Like in this age that we're living in of technology, what makes a website high converting?
Brand messaging. If I go on your website and I don't know what to do, I'm gone. Right? And so it has to speak to you and me. Like who you are and what do you offer. And also there has to be, a form, right? A visible form to fill out or a phone number to call. And it has to be right above the fold, like immediate. Okay. So there's ways that we can do that. We create what is called lead gen sites too, that are more targeted and localized. That's all it does is just collect leads based on, what the goal is of the customer. So for example, if you have somebody who does remodeling homes, right, then you create a page, a lead gen site page, and then you just target that specifically in an area, and that's what it generates is leads, and it captures it, and then the person that is doing the remodeling just gets the leads. Okay. And then with AI automation, right, you have the live chat, they go on it and they have AI talking to you now. It's like, and then you create what is called your own AI agent that knows everything about your business, like everything. And it literally can answer questions that you would answer yourself of everything that you offer, your products and your services. And so that information goes into a CRM, and then, which is the customer relationship management part. Right. And then you build your list, and then now you have a list of customers and clients that contacted you.
Right.
And then you can go back and send them an email and follow up with them and see if they want to work with you or not, and then to see what they're asking for or what they're
Okay.
inquiring about. So yeah, that's all
Wow.
part of the system.
Wow, that's so good. So it's like a dedicated landing page that you need to have to collect leads based on the target audience of who you're trying to reach, that so it speaks directly to them.
Exactly. So there's two sites that do two different things. So you have your main site that builds your brand awareness.
Right.
It builds visibility and online authority. So that's what you want, okay, to grow and expand your core business. But then you have this separate page that is targeted to a specific location, for example, to generate leads. All right. And so the domain itself, right, could be, for example, whatever the business name is, we can just use our business, transformed, remodeling.com or transformremodelingsandiego.com. And see, there's a lot of pushback on long domains, right? People don't realize that those long domains are still search engine friendly, right? It's the keywords, right? So you may not use that on a business card or put that out there so people can put it in a domain, because then it'll be too long. You're like, I don't write that long, right?
Right.
However, but the search engines don't know the difference. It just knows it's the keyword San Diego remodeling. Right. So that's the targeted lead gen pages that we create for our customers. So yeah, it's a different purpose altogether. But yeah, working together in tangent is important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the message I'm hearing is that in order to go from clicks to clients, which I love that little pop-up that just popped up down there, to go from clicks to clients, you really need to target them through this landing page, make sure that the domain name is a searchable name so that you can get brought up in those searches as an option for what it is that people are looking for.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. So smart. Oh my goodness. So Elias, as you think about some of your clients or people that you've gotten to know or who've come into your sphere of influence, and you hear their stories about where they are, what they've tried, what failed, what are some of the scaling mistakes that most businesses make when it comes to lead generation?
It's misunderstood. I just think a lot of businesses don't know what it is, right? They kind of understand, okay, conversion, I get that. But what does that look like practically? What does that look like logistically? How are you going to get a customer to contact me through whatever means, whether it's social media or a website? Because a lot of the clients, they'll get referrals, which is good, but referrals run out. Right. So you want to build a system that's constantly generating more leads, and of course it'd be great if you can get leads every single day. Right.
And you hear people say, oh, I can get you, fill up your whole calendar with discovery calls and appointments in 10 minutes.
You have to block out the noise. There's a lot of noise in this space. There's a lot of tools, a lot of fluff, a lot of empty promises. No, this is real. Like, if you do it right and you build it right and you're active and you're out there and you're working the system, you should see the results that you're looking to see. So yeah, it's more simple than what we think it is, right? We when I say we, I'm talking about most of us. We overcomplicate things. We make things harder than they should be. I mean, it happens a lot in the design. It's like, we're working on a design for like 30 to 40 revisions, right? I'm like, it gets like that sometimes, and it's like we do it because we want to make sure you want to get it right, but we don't want to, it to be overly perfect to the point where it's like, okay, we're not moving, we're not getting things done now. And so a lot of those things happen throughout the system that prevent scaling. It's just either being too picky, or it's just waiting for a perfect time, or maybe it could be cash flow. I mean, there's a lot of clients that just don't have the money to do the things that we offer. And we make our prices as reasonable as possible for any business that were to start. And the way things are going with technology, anybody can actually start their own business, their own website.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. But
Yeah.
so say you have a business, and I know we're so close on time. I can't believe the time is just
I
going so
know.
fast.
Right.
I
Right.
still have questions.
Yeah.
So say you have a business and you're thinking about rebranding. You've had the same logo and look and feel for the past 5 years, and it's time for just a refresh. Is there a way to parlay that refresh into like a lead generating type of thing? Or should it wait until you wait to bring in more leads until after you've made the announcement and shown the new you?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a current business already and you're already rolling, right? I wouldn't just abrupt that right
Mhm.
away. I mean, you do on the side want to build, if you're building a new brand, right? You want to be able
Mhm.
to do that on the side and continue to do that. And that's something that we're doing now, actually, as our business. We're in the
Nice.
middle of building our new website. So we'll
Okay.
probably launch that within the next 1 or 2 months. So
Mhm.
I'll give you guys a heads up on it. But
Awesome.
but yeah, you want to make sure that business is solid, the brand, before you
Mhm.
start marketing it. That's just the rule. I mean, I'd push back on anybody that says I'm just going to market without having my brand together. I mean, even there's businesses who start off having social media presence without a website. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's an order to this. Okay. And if you want to do it right, you got to go through this order, or you're going to be working backwards, which is going to cost a lot of time, money, and energy,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
we don't always have
Right.
that.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the brand first and then market for sure.
Right. But when you're making that transition, do you
Yeah.
kind of tease it out saying, we're getting a new look and feel?
You can let your audience know. You can let your clients know. Yeah, we're moving towards a new brand, and or you can just come out the new brand and say, hey, make the big announcement. Say, hey, check out our new brand.
Yeah,
That works too, and you'll get feedback. They're like, oh, that's nice, that's cool, yeah, great. So
I love that.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
my wheels are turning. You're giving me some things to think about. And I know we're
Yes.
out of time. So,
Right.
like me, I'm sure the rest of our audience is going to want to figure out how can we stay in touch and continue
Yes.
this conversation. So, how do we reach?
Absolutely. So transformdesign.com. You can reach me on my email, Elias at transformeddesign.com. I'm happy to talk to anyone about business, give advice. Yeah, whatever you guys need, just let me know. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I'd love to give back any way that I can.
Awesome. Elias, this was so great. Thank you so much. You were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.